Okay. My computer is doing really strange things. Actually, I think my phone was doing weird things too, so maybe it's just a weird device day. But I'm also supposed to be doing less technology, so it's probably all connected. Um, so it is the full moon weekend and it is the full buck moon. And I wanted to share a little bit about what I've kind of found this week. I've been sharing it as I've gone along as far as some of the new personal affirmations. And then I just kind of had this uh, like rounding out yesterday. So basically, the full buck moon, I was reading, it's like when the antlers would start coming out of the new antlers, which you would imagine would not be the most comfortable, but it's also progress. It's not quite still down in that ugh, the stuck fucking mud like last moon. Um, so it's, it is progress, but it is also going to change. And I was reading, I'm on the phone. Fuck. So on the phone, there's an app about the moon, and the moon was talking about this energies being flighty and spontaneous. My message is to follow things that bring you joy, and using embodiment practices is going to be the best way to do that, especially for the next 3 to 5 days. Just to cover it from 2 days into the full moon and 2 days after. The most that you can do in those 5 days, whether it's starting today, starting tomorrow, any part of any of that, is going to be really good for you going forward to create or to start to see a shift or a change or anything that you're wanting positive going forward, especially for the next couple of weeks. And then leading into the summer, because this moon is kind of setting us up for the next few months. A lot of people would do moon manifesting in 6-month lumps. I like to do 1 and 3. It's kind of more recognizable to how it feels in my body. I'm a 4-week person by the moon, so we do 4 phase. Where are we? July. So a few months ago, strawberry, I know that may not, the numbers may not always add up, but it's about every 3 moons, it's a the process of that, what's going on now is going to be setting me up for the next space, and then that next space is going to kind of ride out the rest of this year, and probably likely into the following spring. And after that, we'll go into the winter. Things will kind of get real still. Everybody kind of settles into wherever we've been, kind of similar to right now with the quarantine. But anyway, not to get lost there. So this weekend, with that idea that you can start to birth or inspire or change direction or shift or consider, the embodiment practice is, my idea is, so take a 3-minute thing, how mine is yoga or dance, or walking. Walking is a really good one. But just decide for 3 minutes that you're going to practice being in your body, or however that would feel good to you. So if doing yoga for 3 minutes doesn't feel good, don't do that, If dancing feels good, do that. If running, walking, jumping up and down, trampoline, swimming, whatever it is that you can do that. And say, this is my time to do this, and be doing it specifically. I'm doing mine right now for strength. It was weird because many reasons. So first of all, the whole moon, I've been hearing, this will be different. Let it be different. Be open to whatever comes. Doing that. I'm also hearing it's spontaneous. While we're in love with it, whatever is happening right now is not staying. This relates to everything. Everything. So, some of my friends are having relationship things happening. If you're feeling that, it's probably because it's shaking something loose. Maybe something has gotten too permanent that isn't going to be riding at this next hunk of moon out with us. Maybe that makes you feel a little nervous. So in your embodiment practice, what I would suggest is focusing on relief, ease, resolution. That's a good one. Actually, I was funny that I've mentioned resolution, money, not money, funny, and mention resolution, because a friend of mine that shares her magic spell work, she did a resolution spell in freezer, like using your freezer. So if anybody wants that, let me know. I've never ever tried to do that before, but I'm all about alchemy, so I felt like that was a really great idea. And if you want more about that, also just message me, because I'm always happy to talk about that. But I don't want to get too distracted, because I still want to cover that. So the embodiment practice, what you would do is say, this is my practice for 3 minutes. I'm bringing ease to my life. Ease, 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 whatever it looks like. Relief. For me, I'm doing strength. I've been really having fun with like the natural weight loss part, and now I want to pause that and kind of stay. Like, I don't want to lose any more weight. And I know before, when I was doing this sort of recklessly, I let it go really, really far, really fast, and it was almost like, okay, can you stop now? And because I'm being more mindful and doing it slowly per what I want to do, I'm going to like slow that part and build muscle. So my 3-minute embodiment practice will be about strengthening. So my yoga practice is going to look a lot different for a couple of minutes, instead of being more flowy and fluid, because that was what was being called to me for continuing that space. It's going to be more the subtle, strong yoga, where I pick a pose and really kind of hold it, or hold variations of it for the 3 minutes, versus moving a bunch in the 3 minutes, if that makes sense. And just like everything, it usually starts at 3 minutes and expands. I've been around 6 minutes because, with the shift in our family dynamic. But still, I'm not feeling like I'm losing the time. I know that if I can show up for myself for the 3 minutes, it's trickling into other spaces. I was almost thinking yesterday, as I was washing the dishes, to start logging like times when I'm not doing yoga, but doing yoga, because like I'm washing the dishes and like doing leg stretches, you know what I mean? But I think we'll talk more about that in 2 weeks, when there's nothing going on and it's like boring. That's funny also. So for me, I'm going to be doing yoga, because that's what I do, and I'm going to be working on the crescent pose. I've been working on doing it seated, so because I'm right here now seated, I'm going to just show you. Basically, I will sit up nice and tall, like seated mountain pose. So if you're sitting cross-legged, kind of lean into your lap, let your sits bones spread, and then come back down to the bottom. So your bum, the balls of your seat are in contact with your seat, whatever you're sitting on, couch or floor, mat. And sit up nice and tall. Round the back a little, and then sit it up tall. Do a little no with the head. Make sure your jaw is relaxed always. Your eyes can be open or shut. It doesn't matter. And then walk your fingertips away from each other, just like you're walking them like away. So that just, usually the middle finger is the longest, but just that middle fingertip, maybe another one is like just there. The other fingers are tenting out. I have my hands kind of spread, just so even my fingers are reaching far away. And just start letting them kind of reach. Walk them next to your body a little more, so you see my back is kind of straightening. And then readjust your head. Let your head come back to straight. Imagine stacking the sit bones. The spine does curve naturally. Let that occur. The sit bones and the neck. Jaw's always free. Eyes can relax. Just imagine kind of sitting it up. And then walk the fingertips away again once you feel like you got your spine nice and aligned. And just inhale, let the arms come up. You're going to interlace your fingers once you take your time getting there. I like to do it all taking your time. It's like subtle, strong. Like I may only do this twice, you know what I mean? Let the fingers interlace. Can you see my fingers? Okay, sort of. So index fingers up. I like my thumbs to sort of press into each other. It gives my arms a little bit more leverage and push, and I can get more out of it that way, So it's like that above my head. And of course, I've come in from a nice, tall, aligned spine. Fingers away, shoulders open. If you're feeling like this, bring your arms down more to a diamond and let that come back open. Head is free. If your head is like this, free that shit up. You're doing it wrong. Sorry, it's not wrong, but it's not going to be comfortable. Do it differently, please. Sit up nice and tall. Let the diamond be big. It doesn't matter. Like, you really want open heart, shoulders, free neck more than anything. Then let the eyes look up. Inhale, reach your fingers up and away. Hold that there for a second. Exhale that down. Inhale with the sit bones to your left sit bones pressing down into the root. Take that right index finger and guide the whole structure, your whole steeple to the right. Not like drag your body, but just like guide it. So I'm going to inhale and then reach, looking out, just reach it. So this whole body is stretching, but I'm not like leaning and dropping. As you play in it and flow with it, you may feel like that lean, but at that point your muscles are sort of activated, so you're not flumping and dumping your weight into the sides. You're kind of like flowing and stretching and reaching. You know what I mean? It's like a way of warming up. You know, once you're already warmed up, if you want to get like that, do that. But I feel like for me, my body doesn't even like that, even crescent moon, you know? So once you're here, you're pressing left down, looking up just a little. So it's basically like I'm trying to reach this side of my body to the right farthest away. So the left zip bone is far away from my right wrist as possible, with comfort, ease, and my neck free. If it just looks like this, that's what it would look like. You're stretching that, you know? However that is for your body, even if it's just a tiny stretch, because maybe you don't have any reach here, range of motion, like that's okay too, because you're working to make that bigger. As you do that a couple times, you'll find you can reach, you know, but don't rush it. So inhale, come back up to nice and straight. If you have the balance, reach down and switch your feet, lean into your seat and let your belly come open, and then sit bones back up. If you need to let your arms come down to do that. But I'm working on strength, so I'm playing with my arms up more. But whatever you're wanting to do for your practice, and always make it, like if you're doing it, if it's hurting, back out of it. Just do it a little less. Like take breaks and go up and down. That means you just need to work on getting there, and then let the strength come in the shape once you practice being in the shape. You know what I mean? For me, like trying to go right into a yoga pose and holding it is where I always found it just never worked for me, and that's where I got injuries. And even things like just a crescent moon, you wouldn't think. Inhale again, nice tall seat. You can lean in, readjust your legs, walk fingertips away. Sit up nice and tall, let the curve of the spine naturally be there. Inhale, arms up, interlace fingers. I got my index fingers shooting up nice and high, head is free. Diamonds again. And just gently look up. Inhale, press the root of the whole seat, and then from that right, I'm going to really anchor and reach to the left. If you're wanting more, you can try to do a little bend, and then you can even play with like arching the back, a little like seated cat-cow to the side. Inhale, back up, let the arms go away, and let the hands like splay, so you're kind of reaching, reach, land. And then just shake the head. Always shake the head no. It's almost like just, you know, counter posture for those big stretches. My neck always needs to say no. There's probably a lot going on there, but we ain't gonna talk about that right now. And then one more time, walk the fingers away. Interlace fingers. Look up gently and just go straight. So now it's almost like cat-cow with the crescent moon. And again, like this is a little bit of a back bend, but you can't even see it. And I'm just gonna play there. So you can kind of take this shape. You can go up and then grab wrists. You can grab elbows and kind of guide that way and give yourself more here. Another way I like to play with that, just because I'm sitting here and I just noticed, when I first started working on my arms, because I had no range of motion in this arm, it's my opposite of my Terminator foot. This clavicle got broken, and I was never an arms picking things up person anyway. So this arm just was kind of just like, So one of the ways I first started working to open up that space was just sitting in the chair at the table, like working in the morning, and just reaching back and letting that stretch be there. And then eventually, because it was a wide enough seat, it had those little, you know how like the edges of a chair has the post, and they kind of come up high. I'd kind of let myself stretch there, and then I'd just let my arms my hands just kind of like sit on the edge. So I kind of have a support, like it was sort of holding me like a band. You know how people use those bands, but I was using the chair frame and just sit and just let my arms hold it. Sometimes relax, you know, but let my arms just feel the shape. But it took a long time to get any like movement, anything in my arms, any shift in my arms, and mostly because I wasn't even really trying. Yeah, but now like my personal work is going to be on the strength and changing some muscle. So I am doing some personal new, which is fun. Whenever you're changing your body, if you haven't ever done it before successfully, pick something kind of new that makes sense. So I'm using my acupressure mat to help with this new, you need a wipey? This new muscle building space. I'm gonna take you with me. With me, buddy. With me. This way, turn, watch where you're going. And the idea is because muscles, watch your head. Because muscles are kind of new to me personally, and the acupressure thing is sort of new, I'm letting them work together. So my own personal thing is I'm going to do a little bit of this hands, baby. 1. A little of the muscles, strong, subtle yoga. My 3 minutes. That's what I'm playing with the universe. May I have muscles for 3 minutes? Like, can I only do 3 minutes sometimes? And may I have muscles? And the universe says, of course, all you have to do is ask. So, one of my new other one. Okay, so I'm gonna jump to affirmation right here because this is kind of how those come to me. This week, one of them was, because I've been having a lot of the immediate manifesting when I'm doing my sacral work, embodiment practices. That's why we're here. It's all looped together. So one of them is plenty is my favorite speed, and I'm allowing that to come to me. Like, that's kind of one of the mantras that are affirmations I've been playing with. Or plenty is my favorite speed. And, something just like that. So basically, everything I want, plenty. And it's from a joy-based speaking. I don't obviously say that when I'm having a terrible moment because the universe is really not minding. If I want plenty of shit, universe will scoop me plenty of shit. I have seen it, I practice it, and I have seen having plenty of joy, and the universe will scoop me plenty of joy. Thank you, universe, very kind for knowing what I want. Just giving it all to me. Anyway, okay, the other one is, the one about what I say matters is huge. We can't really go there right now. It's going to take another whole year. But what you say matters. So I want you to start considering that. Don't say things you don't mean this weekend. Don't say things you don't mean. Maybe consider first of all, that's not fair. Most of the things that people say they don't mean. And that fucking sucks. It's getting on my nerves, if I'm being honest. It's getting on human Nancy nerves. That's why my idea is probably focus on strength. Mind my business. I have to stay in the house all weekend. Not really. But as of now, my plan is to stay in the house all weekend because my original solutions are not bringing me bliss. So I'm going to focus on my personal goals, which is strength in my body, which will bring me fun, happiness. But it is not at all focusing on anything that I feel like I need as a human right now, which is probably the point of keeping my vibration high and silly and carefree. We could talk more about that if you want to. But I want to keep going on with the affirmation. So another one is, oh God, come back. Oh my God, where'd it go? I think I might have wrote it down. Anyway, we'll come back to that. So take your 3 minutes, focus on your thing, do the affirmation with it if you want. Like sometimes when I'm breathing, I will repeat the mantras, or when I'm, like I showed the other day, the video when I'm walking and doing the Ho'oponopono or your own words, like a loop. And then as far as trying the embodiment practice for the next 5 days, also do if you want, or you can do any variation or none or whatever. You know what I always say matters. If it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. Then I'm not talking to you. How can I be one notch happier in any moment? And that doesn't mean every moment you're going to be happy. Like some stuff we do is not our favorite, but it's just okay, I'm doing this. How can I be just 1 degree happier, 1 notch, 1 level up happier? And do that as much as you can for the next 5 days. Show yourself, I'm willing to do this. Remember we were talking about that last week? I think I started that one. How far are you willing to go to show yourself that you love yourself right now? Just that 1 notch. So if you're washing the dishes, maybe turn on the music. If you are doing, I don't know if you're doing any chore that you don't like, add something to make it joyful. Maybe get a cold drink and add a straw. Maybe change your shoes. Maybe take your shoes off. Maybe change your outfit. Changing my outfit really helps a lot for me because there's many reasons we could go there, but when for me, when I feel like I get limited in my space and freedom, not my favorite word for this, but I'm just going there. I tend to want to do things that aren't necessarily good for my body. But changing my clothes I've let that be like a way of like replacing other things that just kind of perpetuated the same loop of me not being worthy of shift. My change I want now is, so this Friday, my financial situation is not my favorite, and I'm not going to be mad. I'm not going to blame anybody. I've just said to the universe, I'm not doing this next Friday. I'm also happy that, like, you know, there are other things happening that I can take my mind off of that, even though it has nothing to do with money. But that's the point. Like, I'm supposed to trust my intuition. So if for the next couple of days I don't worry about that and I just let whatever that is, then, so it's going to be what I want or better. That's what it was earlier. This or better. My work canceled this morning, which is fine, except that was already kind of dictated money out to pay for something, and I'm like, ooh, you could have made me feel really uncomfortable here, universe, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to just let whatever happens there happen and deal with it in 5 days, because apparently that's what we're doing. Probably more like 3, but you know, I have to like give myself extra space because I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, so there's that. And then anytime I get distracted, like, play with the idea of that practice. So the embodiment practice is good to learn, because that way, when you're having a moment when you're not like literally in your peaceful home or in your space where you have control over your stuff, you can sort of in your mind or in your memory, your body memory, tap into that speed that you're wanting, that peace or relief, or just, you know, maybe to just turn the anxiety down, maybe just turn all of it off for a minute, maybe like a resolution. And this is the time for that too, because like energetically we're all getting, this is what we're doing this next week is going to be setting up for the rest of this year. Like, that's pretty much for everything. Like, things are starting to reopen. Like, that's just going on all over the place. I mean, I don't even want to go into all the things that's covering. We all know that. I mean, I don't even watch the news and I know that. So, I don't, you know, what was the other thing I wanted to cover? So pick an embodiment practice. It can be anything that where you're moving your body and connecting your mind and saying, this is mine. It's only 3 minutes, it's all. You could do that 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Do that. Just pick it on purpose, yours, for whatever, and you don't have to tell anybody. That was my other thing. Don't talk to people who are always saying things that aren't encouraging. And I think sometimes we keep doing this because we don't really want to do the work anyway. We don't really feel like doing it. We just want it, you know? Like, I don't want to get a better job and make $1 billion. Just give me $1 billion. I'm not saying that's what you have to do. I'm just saying that's what people think in their head. And I used to think stuff like that. So a lot of times I think we go back to people that aren't necessarily helpful because we just don't really want to change. We just want to continue complaining. And it's okay if you're there. But if you're noticing you're there and you're just kind of getting over that, my suggestion is practice your practice instead of talking. Practice considering what you say actually matters, because it does. It doesn't matter, like, you can't change your mind, but it does matter. You're literally vibrating what you want to the universe. And that, you can believe that or not, it doesn't matter. Sometimes she is so funny. It doesn't matter because it just doesn't. That's your way of communicating to the frequencies, is your thoughts and your feelings. And that doesn't mean that every thought is a communicated thing that needs momentum. Thanks, momentum, for being a friend. Just like gravity, when you jump up, you fall back down again. So you can't just like think, oh my God, there's a big snake here. Bam, a snake, because that would be instant manifestation. We're not those beings. We get to think about it. Like, it'd probably take me a minute to think enough to let myself have a snake right here. You know what I mean? For me to do that, it'd probably take like, I'd probably get a tank, you know, and then a pet. Or maybe go under a rock out in the yard, you know, but I couldn't just bam a snake here. It would take a little momentum. So for me to get muscles in my body, we'll switch gears. Look how smooth I am. Like, excellent. I hate myself right now. Shut up, I never hate myself ever. I don't even know where I'm going now. Distracted Diana is my nickname today. So that's what I'm doing. I'm working on strength. I'm working on ease, relief, newness, openness, 100% not seriousness. Listen to my kids. The kids are kind of the boss these days. They don't know that though. So when they say rules, I'm just kind of pretending that they're in charge. Like, okay, fine, that's your rule. So the other day, Chloe's like, just do less. And I'm like, fine. And I did less, and it actually worked out really good. So I'm like on 3 days of doing that, and it's working out. But you know, that's just playing for me because it's, you know, whatever. Anyway, so pick a thing. What do you want? Strength, peace, resolution, relief, ease, money, love. Pick it, what it doesn't matter. Bow ties. And do a practice in your body, dance, whatever it is. Maybe meditate if you can do that, if you can sit still and that's like something that you enjoy. But that doesn't usually sound like embodiment. That sounds like disembodiment. So the point is getting in there and shaking shit up and then bringing your mind in and being like, yes, I'm kind of like celebrating what you want. You know what I mean? It's like, shut up. It's called changing your vibration. Mind fuckery is what we were going to say. Let's just say it doesn't matter. Where are we at? I think we're good. I think we're going to go there. I think we're done. I feel like there was one thing I'm missing, but I'll probably remember and it'll be funnier later. So, see ya.